A billionaire and the darling of Silicon Valley, she promised a revolutionary blood testing technology. Tonight, though, Elizabeth Holmes is a convicted felon. Less than an hour ago, the jury returned its verdict in her trial. She was facing 11 charges, the jury returning 4 guilty verdicts, 1 for conspiracy against Theranos investors, 2 for wire fraud, and 1 for wire fraud against Theranos investors. Here are the 4 counts the jury said she was not guilty of committing. 1 count of conspiracy against patients, 1 count of test results, and 2 counts of patient results. The jury also declaring a mistrial on 3 remaining counts. Let's get right to it. Let's bring in business and tech reporter Scott Budman. Budman's been in the court almost every single day. All right, let's start with Elizabeth Holmes herself, Scott. When they read those, some guilty, some not, what was her reaction?
Well, good evening, Jessica. Her reaction was pretty stone-faced throughout the reading of the different charges. And as you mentioned, they sort of ping-ponged around. It wasn't a whole lot of guilty or not guilty in a row. Some were guilty, some not guilty. But as it became clear that she was going to be found guilty on multiple charges, you could see her look down a bit. Her family was silent. In fact, the whole courtroom was silent. There were many times during this trial that lasted pretty much 4 months where I sensed tension and things got very quiet, but none so more than this afternoon as the verdict was read. After all of the charges were read, the jurors were thanked by the judge. Elizabeth Holmes turned around. She hugged her family members individually and then was ushered off into a side room. And that's the last we saw of her. She has still not come out yet. We're waiting to see if that happens. Perhaps she and her attorneys will have some comment. But it was a very quiet, respectful, stone-faced Elizabeth Holmes that listened. And the entire courtroom was also quiet behind her.
Scott, let me ask you also, because this has also become such a trial about public interest, and we've had those days where, people were lining up to get inside the courtroom. What was the reaction for the rest of the gallery that was sitting there watching it?
A lot of us cover technology. Some people cover the law, and this is really where the two came together. And there was some surprise. Some people thought if she was going to be found guilty of anything, it would be the fraud against patients. After all, the Theranos machines that did not work were put into many Walgreens stores, and that's why we had patients testifying that they got the negative results, or the results that were actually wrong. It turned out she was found not guilty of most of those charges. And so on the tech side, as someone who covers venture capital and startups and CEOs, this is really going to reverberate throughout Silicon Valley, because what she was found guilty of was lying to investors, fraud to investors, telling them things while she knew they were not true and still collecting money. Let's face it, here in Silicon Valley, there's a lot of what I'll kindly call exaggeration that goes on during the fundraising process up on Sand Hill Road. A lot of people today were saying companies are going to have to think twice before they raise funds because of today's verdict.
Yeah, I'm sure that made the earth shake a little bit for all of those investors out there and for a lot of these Silicon Valley companies. Have we heard at all from the prosecutors or about what they think, how successful they feel about what happened in this trial? Have we heard anything from the defense at this point?
We haven't heard from either side yet, Jessica. They're still up in the courtroom. From what I understand, it could take a while before everything is sorted out and they come downstairs. But this is a really, really strong day for the state. A lot of people, especially as the verdict came this late, were saying, this is good news for the defendant, for Elizabeth Holmes. But to have her guilty on 4 counts, and remember, it's 4 of 11, but because the jury was hopelessly deadlocked on 3 of the counts, it's really 4 of 8. And that feels like a win for the state, and it feels like a loss for Elizabeth Holmes and the defense. But again, we haven't heard anything from either side yet. We're waiting to see if they come downstairs to talk.
Did the judge issue a sentencing date yet?
Not yet. I'm told typically that takes a couple of months, and they put it in front of a parole board, and then the judge does get some say in this, but we don't know. She faces a maximum of 20 years per charge, but typically they're stacked up together, so it's still a maximum of 20 years. Some of the people are walking out now.
Yeah, it seems to be something happening behind you.
Okay, I can tell you what's happening. The courthouse actually shuts down at 5 o'clock. I sort of lost track of time. So these are all the reporters. Everybody is being told to wait outside. This could complicate things if indeed Holmes and her team or the jurors step outside to talk. But at this point, we do have to go outside, and we can set up for live shots out there. But what they do is they close the gates at 5 o'clock, so everyone is being ushered outside.
All right, so you go ahead and do that, and we'll come back to you if something changes or if the prosecution or the defense or Holmes herself comes out. So you go get out of the courtroom, we'll come back to you, okay? All right, let's for more on the trial, let's bring in our legal expert, Paula Canny. Paula has been with us. So, Paula, let's start with what Scott was talking about. Really a mixed bag of what was guilty and what was not. And it seems from just looking at the overview that the jury convicted her on the charges where she defrauded investors, but not when she defrauded the patients who got those, inaccurate test. Why would you, what makes that difference? Why do you think one over the other?
I think it has to do with her testimony. Remember, Elizabeth Holmes testified. So clearly what I take from the jury's verdict is that in some instances, they didn't hold Elizabeth Holmes responsible. She didn't have any direct contact with the patients. It wasn't her doing anything. But as to the investors, it was her words that enticed the investors to make the contribution to the business. And I think what the jury found is that that she knew that what she was saying wasn't true when she was trying to get that money. So I do want to say this is a huge win for the prosecution. All they need is one guilty verdict. So they got 4 guilty verdicts. I mean, she will be sentenced. She most likely, the sentencing guidelines are not mandatory, but the matrix starts with up to 33 months in prison per count. She'll be ordered to make restitution to each of the, in each case where she was convicted. I just did the quick math. That's like $150 million in restitution. So that'll give you an idea how impactful her false statements were in garnering revenue for the company.
What does that mean in terms of making
now?
In terms of making restitution? She doesn't have $150 million. So what does that mean? Correct. For the rest of her life? What?
The rest of the life, she'll be making monthly payments to the United States courts to pay off the various people who she defrauded of these funds.
Oh, wow.
She's also going to be sentenced. I mean, she'll get a prison sentence by virtue of this. I mean, I suppose the court could, under the rules, still grant probation, but 4 counts of this kind of financial loss, I just don't think it's realistic to think that she'd be granted probation. She'll, under the guidelines, the average sentence for a wire fraud is, 24 months. But this was a huge, huge, huge loss to many people.
So what are you talking about? By your calculations, what do you think in terms of prison time? And what kind of prison? Are we talking about, white collar prison? What can we expect her life will be like once she is sentenced? What kind of facility will they put her in, given the fact that she's got no priors?
She'll be sentenced. She has no prior criminal record, but she'll be sentenced to a facility like Martha Stewart served her sentence, a women's federal prison. It doesn't have to be in the state of California. As I recall, Martha Stewart served her sentence back on the East Coast. But prison, stinks. Nobody likes to go to prison. It's pretty horrible. But that's how we, treat people convicted of crimes. I mean, in thinking about it, the impact, she has a 6-month-old kid. I don't think she won't be sentenced today, tomorrow. This process will take a couple months. She'll meet with a federal probation officer who writes a report. The prosecution will submit a sentencing brief. The defense will submit a sentencing brief. They'll analyze her conduct under the sentencing guidelines within these other rules within sentencing. federal sentencing laws. And then she won't be remanded at the time of sentencing. She will be given a surrender date to surrender to serve her sentence. Remember, it's a non-violent, basically white-collar crime, but nevertheless, she will be sentenced. And then after her prison time is served, she's on supervised release for several years.
Another question for you. If you are Sunny Balwani right now, who was her former business partner and who's facing trial coming up in February, what are you thinking at this particular moment? And what is your team doing to try to mitigate that what happened to Holmes doesn't happen to you?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, if I'm Sunny Balwani, you know, just like I've been watching this whole trial, his team has been watching the trial, I'm thinking maybe I should try to mitigate my damages here by perhaps suggesting that I enter into some sort of plea agreement with them to, you know, minimize my exposure of sentencing. I mean, maybe I think, oh, maybe I shouldn't testify. I mean, Elizabeth Holmes' testimony, in a weird kind of way, what I take from this is in some ways the jurors believe that she didn't defraud the patients, that she didn't know that part of it. But the jurors totally believed that she knew that what she was selling to the investors was just not true. So in some ways, her testimony helped her, and in other ways, it hurt her, and now here we are. And this, as I said, is a big win for the prosecution. And as a defense attorney, you just want to avoid a conviction.
Right.
You don't care if it's not guilty or a hung jury, but if your client's convicted, you lost.
Paula Canny, we appreciate your expertise and the kind of lens that you put on things so that we can all understand it more clearly. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jessica. Bye.
All right, I want to take you outside the courtroom. We're awaiting prosecutors and attorneys for Holmes to come out of court. Once they do, of course, our own Scott Budman and our Marianne Favre are both outside. We will bring that to you immediately. Our coverage on Elizabeth Holmes' trial continues online, including what are the broader implications? What are the broader implications for women in technology? You can read about that on our NBCBayArea.com website.